Hey folks, I'm Tony.
And I'm Tina.
And we're TNT RVing. So what are we up to today, Teen?
We're up to winterizing Ellie. And for those of you who don't know, Ellie is our 2026 Rockwood Ultra Lite 2618RD.
So I'm going to show you the way Tina and I are going to be winterizing Ellie. And
yes, but we hoped we would get one more weekend camping, although they're calling for snow this weekend, like measurable snow.
Yeah.
So we're going to winterize her and get her put away in the next day or two. So come on, let's do this.
Alrighty, let's get to winterizing Ellie. And I'm going to go over all of the items I'm using here real quickly. And first off is going to be this fitting here. This is a blowout fitting. And you're going to need a 1 1/16 socket as well as a ratchet. I'm using a little hand pump here, and this has some adapters for a garden fitting, and I'll show you where we're going to be using this as well, in this pump. And I've got an old edge of a towel. This is just a piece of cotton, really big thick piece of cotton. I'll show you what that's for in a little bit, and some tweezers as well. So we're also going to need antifreeze, and we're using RV antifreeze, and this antifreeze is minus 50 degrees burst point. So all of this RV antifreeze will actually freeze, but it won't expand. So it turns into kind of a slush, just so you're aware. So, and also a bucket as well. I'm also using an air compressor, and I have this air compressor already filled up, and we have it set to, let's see here, 42 PSI. So we want to make sure we're not going to be exceeding, I would say, what, 50 PSI or so. So our very first step, team, let's go back here because our freshwater tank drain is underneath here. And I'm going to take the camera and I want to show you our freshwater tank drain right there. And we're going to dump all of that fresh water out of the RV. That's our first step.
I didn't know we had that much water in it.
Right. There was probably about a third of a tank of water left in there. So we're just going to let that drain out. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my socket, ratchet. Let's come around by the water heater. We're here at the water heater, and this has not been running. I'm going to bleed a little bit of the pressure off of the system. So you can see, you definitely want to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the anode rod, which is right down here. So Ellie's brand new. I'm going to bleed a little bit more off. We're good. We're not under pressure. So here is the anode rod, and being that we had only one trip, not even a couple trips, it is like brand new shape. The other thing I want to show you, see how the water's kind of trickling out of here? This valve right here, if you pull this, you'll see that the water really flows out of there. Did I get you wet?
Don't get my boots all wet.
So we're going to drain all the water out of the water heater. And there's what, 5-6 gallons of water in that. Sorry about the pants, Teen.
I got to go change shoes on my suede boots that just got wet.
All right. Like I said, sorry. For the next step, I use this end of an old towel, this cotton right here, and my little tweezers here. And what I'll do is I'll take and I put this inside the water heater. And what's going to happen is it's going to grab the rest of that water that's in there. Take a look here, Teen.
Oh, sorry.
See what's happening there?
Mm-hmm. It's wicking.
See how it's wicking out? So while we're doing the rest of this, we're going to go ahead and leave that in there, and then it's just going to absorb that water and pull it out of there. Do you really have to do that? Not really. I'm just emptying all the water to the best of my ability. So I'm going to put this for now right back there, and let's move on into the inside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bypass the water heater. So the water heater in Ellie is located in this cabinet in the back here. So we're going to have to remove this drawer. And what I want to show you is how you remove the drawer. So I'm going to take the camera and we're going to come over here, and I want you to look at this clip, this right here. And you see how it's close to this side and not that side. You're going to want to lift that in that direction, and on the opposite side, you're going to do exactly the opposite. So I'm lifting here, pushing down on the other side, and then the drawer just simply slides out. So we're going to put that right there. Then we're going to bring these back in. So on the inside here is the water heater, and you can see there's a valve right there, and then a valve up top there. So those are the two valves we're going to turn. So right here, we're going to turn that way, and this one that way as well.
It's kind of hard to see.
It is. So I'm going to bring you in a little closer. As you can see, so now what's going to happen is that cold water is going to come in, loop around that line, and go straight out into the red and not go into the water heater. So that's all that takes.
So do you leave the drawer out then?
No, I'm putting the drawer back in.
Oh, okay.
What I found to make it easier, by the way, is I'll put these in and then put the drawer in. It's a little easier. Less stuff moving around. Just like that. Just like that. So the water heater is now bypassed.
Well, that was easy.
On to the next.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so now we're in the bathroom area under the vanity in Ellie, and I want to show you the plumbing here and what we need to do on the inside here. So I have this curtain that I had installed. I always like to have quick, easy access, kind of keep an eye on what's going on here. And see this valve right here? Right now, this is selected to the freshwater tank. And we're going to go ahead and turn this on. So it's going to come from the antifreeze inlet right here. So on to the next step. All right, so now we're out here by the low point drains, and I installed these valves right here, and I picked these up at Home Depot, and I'll post here. We're gonna open this up. Watch, there's gonna be some water. There's gonna be some water coming out, a little bit of water, what's left over in that. But I'm gonna post the bag that they came in, so you know exactly what to get at Home Depot. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to use my fitting here, and we're going to screw this on to the city water connection, just like so. And we're going to grab our air compressor line. Once again, this is set to around 42 psi. So watch what's going to happen when I hook this up here. That should be good enough for now. All right, we blew out the city water connection. Now what we're going to do is the black tank flush. And we want to make sure we're blowing air, running some antifreeze in through this because of the backflow preventer valve. And I'll post a picture of that right below. But we're going to shoot some air in here. You could hear it right here, making some noise. And that should be good enough. Our next step, we're going to take a piece of hose and we are going to hook this up to the antifreeze inlet. And what we're going to do is utilize the onboard pump to pump the antifreeze throughout the system. And I like to keep the bucket on a ladder so the pump doesn't have to work so hard. And we are going to go into our Power Pro app. Connecting.
But people could go in and use their pump, correct?
Right. No, they have to use the app. Here, come on over. Take a look here. This is what's pretty slick about this. Water pump. We're going to turn our water pump on. And you can hear our water pump coming up to pressure. And
Yeah, you can really hear that.
What we're going to do now is at our low point drain, and when I turn this on, careful because it's going to splash, so you know. So we're going to turn that on.
Okay, it's pink.
Okay, that's good. Now see the water, pink. We're good for now. So that's that. And then since we're outside, I'm going to do this so we don't forget. And we got to go in here and grab our hose, because I did use this. So this has water in it currently. And we're going to attach that right here. And then we're going to turn that on and watch here. So there's water, and pretty soon there's the pink. And that's what we're looking for, is the pink. Now we're going to close this. Now unfortunately what's going to happen is, because it's now the hot side, it'll go pink, city water, and then pink again. So there's pink. There's city water. And
it's kind of
that's pink right there.
Now it's more pink, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you could see where you could use a couple. I'd say 3 at a minimum. 4 is nice. I probably have 2 in there right now. I'm going to throw
2 what?
Gallons of our antifreeze.
Oh, okay.
Antifreeze.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to put another one in there. So this is about, this is 3. And I'll usually save a little bit to put in the drains, but I have another half jug some in the garage that I'll probably use for that. All right, so we're set. This is off. Let's make sure that I just set that off. Okay, that's off. Real quick. Good, pink. Good and pink. And we could disconnect this. You can see a little bit dripping out there. We'll just leave this on the ground here for now. Let it drain out. But that's
a lot of traffic
set.
Going by right now.
We really do. So that's good. Now let's go on the inside. All right, so now we're at the kitchen sink here, and I like to extend this as much as possible. And then we're going to go ahead off to the right, and we're going to turn this on. And you can see city water coming out. Now it just turned pink. We're good. Now we're going to go on the hot, on the hot side, and we're going to, there's city water, and then it immediately changed over to pink. So we're good there. So that's good. So we're going to take a bag. Now I'm going to put this over here. And I like to do this, especially when we're traveling, where we put her. And this way, none of the antifreeze is going to drip all over into the sink. Now let's go into the bathroom area. So what I did a bit ago is I took the hose of the shower head out of this little loop here. And the reason I did that is I like to take, and I'm going to get down here low, and we're going to turn the hot side on. You can see the city water getting purged out of there. Now we've got pink, so we're good there. Now we're going to go on the cold side, and you're going to see right here, and there's going to be city water. Now it's turning pink. So we're making a little bit of a mess. Here's one of the steps I want to make sure that you do as well. We have the shower miser here. What I like to do is turn that on, and we're going to turn this on and allow that antifreeze to run in that line and keep that in good shape there. You only need to do that for a few seconds there. And then with this, I'm going to hang this back up. Of course, it's going to drip a little. Then I'll clean this up with some paper towels, which I have in the other area there. That's good. Since we're right here, let's go right
toilet.
here to the toilet. Can't forget about that because we don't want to mess up our valve for our foot flush here. So we're just going to step on that. You can hear it. Now watch that.
Pink.
I like to keep an eye and make sure that it's coming out from each of those. Which that looks good. That's good. And then, here, we'll leave it like that. Now let's go to the sink here. And what we're going to do, I always go hot. Watch, hopefully it goes right in the hole. Oh, right there. That's good. Now we're going to go on the cold. Oh, and that's good. Alrighty, so now I'm going to clean this up real well in here. And then we're going to go outside and we're going to finish this up outside. All right, so we're going to wrap this up on the outside here, but there's a step I want to show you. Now, we used the air and we blew out through the city water connection. Now, for instance, if you didn't do the air and you just hooked up to the antifreeze inlet here, what you're going to have is you're going to have trapped city water right by this valve. So what we're going to do, Tina, that's a very bad place to be. You don't want to be standing where Tina is.
Okay.
Maybe over here a little bit. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press in on this. So come on in a little bit closer. You can see it and turn it. There you go. Ready?
Ready.
So you're going to want to see pink come out of there. Now, for our circumstances here, it worked fine because we blew air in there and that valve did not have much city water in there. If we would have used just the antifreeze pump, there would have been a lot more city water coming out of here.
Okay.
So that's the one step I wanted to make sure you did. And then the other thing, our pump here. So this right here, what you're going to want to do is where the tank, black tank flush is, you're going to want to hook this up to that, screw on this fitting here for our hand pump, and this is the black tank flush, right like that. So the other thing I wanted to mention is when we get Ellie into her storage area, I'm going to use extra antifreeze and I'm going to pour this in all of the drains along with in the toilet as well, because we want to make sure, especially we keep that toilet seal submerged and wet. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pump this antifreeze in there so we get that backflow preventer valve. We want to make sure we get any last bit of water out of there by pumping this antifreeze in there. That should take care of it. So once again, I'll post a picture of what that looks like. So I want to get all that out of there. Well, there you go. That's how easy it is to winterize Ellie. I hope you found this video helpful, useful, entertaining possibly. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to TNT RVing.
Yeah, give us a big thumbs up, a like, and we will see you at the campground.
TNT RVing.